Well, happy Wednesday, River Park Church. I'm glad to be able to share another video with you. It's been more than a week now since I've been back in the office, but last week was a clatter of many different things, and I didn't have the opportunity to record a video. So glad to be able to get back into the swing of things. It seems like that's might be where many of us find ourselves. After all these days, our lives seem more guided by the school calendar, the academic calendar, and less by the Christian calendar or the religious calendars that we might also follow. And there's good and bad with all of that. But one of the good is that September or the end of August gives us the opportunity to reflect, to check our priorities, to prepare for the coming year, and to wonder with those we love and before God, what our priorities should be, where our hearts are, what work we need to do, what changes we need to make. And so in the coming few weeks, this Sunday the 30th and on Sunday, September 6th, that Labor Day weekend, we're going to first this Sunday wrap up our sermon series, looking at what God did before, but the focus is really going to be how we respond to what God did before. When we know the stories of what God has been doing, what do we do with that? What changes do we make? What reflections does that build in us? How do we, like those who have gone before, humbly submit to God? Or, like others, do we turn away in pride and arrogance? Do we insist on our own way, despite the fact that God may be speaking to us? Again, on Labor Day weekend, we'll have another message. That one will be a standalone, and it will be more or less on the same theme, inviting us to take time to reflect, to take stock of our lives and our situation, and to see what it is that God is calling us to do as we listen to Him and as we reflect on our situation. I was just chatting with a member of our community this morning here at the church, and she reminded me that in a world where many things are outside our control, we can always control and affect or change our attitudes, our approach to life and to our situation. So that was an encouragement for me and perhaps for you as well. I hope in these coming weeks, as we think about the start of a new year, a new school year, academic year, a new church year, that we take time to take stock, to reflect, and to listen to God, to see what He has for us, for you as an individual and for me, but also for us as a community together. This is the important work that God calls us to do as a church. Before the administrative stuff or before keeping the lights on, He has called us to follow Him and to live lives of obedience and goodness to Him, such that our lives become a fragrant offering to God and a beautiful thing in the sight of others. So I hope you'd have some time this week, or take some time, create some time to reflect and to listen to God and to those that you trust and love together. Of course, we've got a few more things coming up after the next few weeks. September 13 is our kickoff Sunday, and we're also going to celebrate the baptism of Gina Veslavsky, our church secretary. Of course, there's a whole lot more to Gina's story, but you might know her best from her work here at the church. September 20 will be the start of our Sunday school year, and so Sunday school will pick up on the 20th, as will youth group. And so we'll have more announcements and more information coming about all those things in the next week's weekly emails. Keep an eye out this week also for news about upcoming names for ratification for new council members and new deacons. And then also note that our church is participating in the Toward Canada gathering September 16 to 19 in Edmonton, just north of Edmonton, St. Albert. And so myself and our council chair, Debbie, will be going to that. And other members of our church, you are also welcome to attend, although there are some costs associated. As always, it's a joy to share just a few minutes with you. And I hope to have more time to connect personally and to invite you to connect with our community this coming Sunday as we gather for worship here at River Park Church at 10 a.m. Hope to see you there. God's grace and peace be with you.